Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. I'm beginning to think that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is not a listening president. He is deaf. This is With All Due Respect. With all due respect, today I'll be blunt with our politicians, and more specifically the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It is becoming clear that this president is deaf and that he struggles to hear the cry of the ordinary Ghanaian. He has surrounded himself with people who only care about enriching themselves at the expense of we the poor Ghanaian. Now, I'm going to show pictures of some structures which he or we have left out or left to rot after we as a nation used our tax money to build them with the idea of helping to provide affordable housing for low and middle income earners. These houses were built with the taxes we pay as citizens. These buildings have been abandoned by this government to rot, or because some individuals in this NPP government feel that commissioning this project will make the former president, ex-president John Dramani Mahama, and his government look good to we Ghanaians. To me, I think this is childish behavior from our leaders and should be condemned. I can confidently say that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his government look more like jokers to me when they boast to us Ghanaians that they are a listening government. Honestly, I think they are a deaf government because they don't really hear the real problems of the ordinary Ghanaian. One of the most pressing problems of the ordinary Ghanaian today is accommodation. So if a president intentionally deprives we the citizens of decent and affordable accommodation, which we financed with our own taxes, then I think this president doesn't deserve to be called a listening government or a listening president, but a deaf president. So these are the buildings on my right, as you can see, 1,502 housing units. It's been completed. They're just sitting idle. They are rotten. And some people in government will wear Vietnam suits and come tell us nonsense that they are investigating, whilst people are sleeping on the streets. These are buildings rotten away. These buildings were built by the last administration, but the scholars, the hypocrites, the naive scholars will come on TV and speak big English telling us that we shouldn't move into this because they are investigating some nonsense. You know, with all due respect, if anyone cares to know, these buildings are the first phase of a 5,000 housing unit project completed by the Mahama administration, and they have been left to rot by this Nana Addo government, but nobody's talking about it. The first phase of this project, which compromises of about 1,502 housing units, began in 2014 at a cost of about $180 million. It was completed to enable Ghanaians to get accommodation for lower prices. Now, Atachia, who is the Works and Housing Minister, inspected this building way back in 2017 and expressed satisfaction at the quality of work which went into the project. Later, his deputy claimed that the NPP government was investigating payments made to the contractor, meaning this government didn't understand why the contractor was paid almost 99% of the contract sum, even though they can see that 1,502 buildings were completed. This is craziness, it's madness. It has been 2 solid years and nothing has been heard from this investigation. I think this is absurd on the part of this government and has to be condemned. In fact, which government in their right senses will allow buildings to rot while taxpayers, they sleep on streets and in slums? Did we forget our brains in the trash? Or we are just filled with so much hypocrisy that we can't even see ourselves crediting others for good work done? How cheap and pathetic can we be as a people? Finally, with all due respect, I think we Ghanaians have to hold these politicians to task on this issue, irrespective of our political affiliation. What is wrong is wrong. In the first place, who even cares about who or which government gets credit for what project at the end of the day? What we poor Ghanaians, yes, want is how beneficial that specific project will be to us today and in the future. Now, I would like to tell this government that governance to we Ghanaians is in competition. It is about performance and service to we the electorate or the citizens. We the people deserve better managers who can provide us our needs as a people, not what the government or the president thinks we deserve as a people. We Ghanaians have been fooled for too long by these lying politicians, especially this government, and we have to hold them to task and let them understand that they serve us and not the other way around. Mr. President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, my little advice to you is, if you say you are a listening president, then do the right thing. Allow Ghanaians to move into these buildings because it was built by our own money, not yours. Your pettiness is getting out of hand. Credit the last government and let we the poor Ghanaians enjoy what we have worked for as a people. You can choose to ignore this advice, but you have to always remember that if the elders leave you a legacy of dignified language, you do not abandon it and speak childish language. Give credit where credit is due. My name is Kevin Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect.